Everybody, welcome to our new episode of Wrist
To
to
wardrobe.
Wardrobe. He is the wrist, and I am the wardrobe. Hey guys, we're excited to do our first episode with you. We are here in the beautiful city and state of North Carolina and Charlotte, North Carolina,
Charlotte.
hanging out with a gentleman here who is my business partner, Justin. You're a Floridian, right?
Born and raised.
And I am a Marylander. We're excited about this podcast because on this podcast, we're going to provide a lot of value. We have combined over 26 years in the luxury jewelry industry, watches and other fine jewelry, and myself in custom clothing and in wardrobe structuring. I've been in this business since 2011. You've been in this business since
15 years now.
15 years now. So you have a wealth of knowledge. We're relatively younger. I got a little bit more gray than he does, but but maybe he just has better genes. But we're just excited to bring value to you guys, especially professionals, whether you are a finance bro in Charlotte, an athlete, or even an entertainer. We're here to give you information and inside stuff that you may not know from two folks who have been in the business for over 26 years. Justin, kind of talk about watches and why they're so important part of the wardrobe and why a lot of people tend to forget. Like you can't believe you dressed up, you look nice, but you don't have your watch. What's up with that?
Absolutely. Dude, nowadays, if I leave the house and for some reason I forgot a watch or I'm not wearing one, it makes me feel naked just because I've been wearing one for so long. But I think it's definitely it's an important piece to the puzzle. If you're dressed up, but let's say a business interview or something like that, you've got your nice suit, hopefully a pocket square, all the accessories. But I think what ties it all together is a wristwatch.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what makes this partnership and this relationship so great. You get the best of both worlds. I understand you from head to toe, fabrics, weight, color, design, etc. And he understands the fine details as regards to jewelry. It's like a knight going out without a sword. You can't leave your house without your sword, right?
100%.
Awesome, man.
100%.
So in our experience, man, we for me, I've worked for luxury brands such as Nordstrom's, J. Crew, Rockport, many different Lucky Brand jeans. I've worked for Bose. I've worked for tech. I've been all over the place in all different environments, work with all different type of people. So I have a wide variety of different places and situations that I've been in. And Justin, no doubt you've been in the same situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I've dealt with so many different brands. It's funny. I started at Macy's selling fine jewelry and watches, but the watch brands they sold there, I sold everything from Michael Kors to G-Shock, Seiko, Bulova, Tag Heuer, Gucci. And then when I worked my way up into a larger jewelry store, I've sold Jaeger-LeCoultre, Vacheron Constantin, Rolex, Tudor, Breitling, Omega, you name it, watch brands, and then also jewelry as well. So I'm GIA certified in just like basic diamonds.
Yeah.
But I do know diamonds, I know gemstones, I know nice jewelry, and I've been selling both for 15 years now.
Yeah. And so you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting folks who can really give you the real, no fluff stuff, not trying to sell you anything. We literally created this podcast to bring as much maximum value to you as you make your purchasing decisions, as you make your career decisions, and as you network and build these relationships. And that's what this podcast, Watch to Wardrobe, is all about. It's for you being able to understand that as a man holistically, you just can't look great here. You have to have, it's the small things that we miss out on. Cufflinks. Do you have your name on there? Is a monogram? These small things that really take a man from being, he looks good, but he looks $1 million. And so we've came together and created a great organization that's going to provide those services, not just to Charlotte, but globally. And we're excited about our first episode in the mothership. Please forgive us. We're learning as we fly, but as we get more and more into this, it'll get more and more better. So let's kind of talk about essentials, man. We deal with, especially in Charlotte, people don't move to Charlotte for just the barbecue. We move here because there's career opportunities, whether that's finance, whether that's in NASCAR, whether that is in tech and healthcare, so many different type of reasons why people move here. Let's talk about the foundational cost, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm going to just get a Rolex. My personal perspective as an image consultant is you need to have your essentials first. You build your foundation. It's like a home. You have to have a nice foundation. What if you have a nice roof, but you have no foundation? That doesn't work.
Absolutely.
And the same thing with your jewelry. Is that the case?
Yeah, definitely. What do you mean, like in terms of
Yeah.
starting with a lower end brand?
No, like so when you're gonna go jewelry, every man I should have at least a nice watch, a nice ring, maybe a nice bracelet, and maybe some other things, maybe a nice necklace, not too garish, right? What are the main pieces of jewelry that you think most young professional men should have? Maybe one or two things.
I would definitely say a wristwatch is number one.
Uh-huh.
It's funny. I'm not a big accessory guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge jewelry guy either. I mean, I've got my chain that I've had for years.
Yeah.
I wear a wristwatch, and my wife's going to kill me, but and a wedding ring.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, other than that, in terms of like jewelry accessories for me, that's my go-to. But
Yeah.
I've sold men like David Yurman,
Yeah.
rings and bracelets, necklaces. There's tons of different brands out there, but for me, I like to keep it basic.
And that timepiece is the essential, like the anchor
Yes.
to the wardrobe, and then you can start getting with your David Yurmans and doing those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, just to kind of like, let's say hypothetically, I think for most young men, if you're watching this podcast and episode number 1, is you have to start with foundations. We all love flash. We love to be noticed. We love for people to pay attention to what we're doing. But if we don't have the foundations, you have to start off on the right foot.
Yeah.
You don't want to drive a car with rims without the tires. You need the tires to get somewhere, right?
Yes.
And so for me, I tell all young men, you need to have a navy blazer. A navy blazer is something that you can have that allows you to maximum utility. When I say utility, that means you can wear it with jeans, khakis, right? You can wear it with slacks. Those are 3 different essential pairs of pants that you can mix and match them with. So as an example, if you're going on a date night and it's a more of an elevated restaurant, you may not necessarily want to wear jeans, right? You might want to wear a khaki with a navy sport coat, and you can mix and match colors with that. But it's a good foundational anchor piece of wardrobe that allows you the flexibility to add a dress shirt, a nice dress shirt like what I'm wearing, right? With my stuff here. Or you could do something like a nice luxury t-shirt. We're not talking about the t-shirts that you get from from Walmart or something. There are certain ones like from a Banana Republic. They make a phenomenal luxury t-shirt. The material is different, it's softer. The cotton that they use, the way that when you put it in the washer, it's going to hold its shape, and it's going to be phenomenal when you wear it on a sport coat. The worst thing that I hate to see when I see a young man wearing a blazer or a sport coat is that their shirt that they're wearing, to kind of make it less serious, the collar is baggy. The collar looks ruffled.
I'm like checking myself now.
Yeah, no, you're sharp. You're good.
Like
You're good. But you want to have a collar that's strong and thick, so that when you wear it under a jacket, it doesn't fold, it doesn't crush under it, but it looks really nice under a sport coat or blazer. If you want to dress down but still be elevated. So on this podcast, we'll go through episodes and talk about how to build that foundational wardrobe. But to me, the navy blazer is the essential thing that every young man should start, especially if you're networking, building relationships, going on dates, and you're going on interviews. You need to have that navy blazer, and you want one that fits you appropriately. And we'll talk about the difference between on the rack, custom, bespoke, those things, so you can understand where your pockets are.
Yeah.
Everybody's pockets are different.
What do you think about just a suit?
Yeah.
Like for a foundational wardrobe for a young professional coming up, don't
Yeah.
you think a suit is also important?
Oh, for sure. So if you're in the tech space, a sport coat is a great place to start on top of a polo. But yeah, for a young professional, let's just say you work in banking, a great suit to start with is a navy suit. So not a sport coat, but a navy suit. So top and bottom. You could also do a charcoal suit. You want something that you can wear in almost any situation that doesn't stand out. You start adding those standout pieces as you build your wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
You start with your navies, your charcoals, your grays, and then you start getting things with subtle patterns. So yes, I agree with you. If you're in the banking industry, if you're in the finance industry, if you're in the law industry, a great place is to start with a navy suit, a dark navy, not a navy blue, because there's different types of blues. Mm-hmm. But you want a dark navy that you can wear with any sort of shirt, white shirt, red tie, burgundy tie. There's a wide variety of things you can do. But for you, what is a good place for a young man? He's got his first finance job here in Charlotte. What is a good watch to start with, an essential watch you would suggest?
That question really depends on budget and price point. But if you want to get into a luxury watch, there's like lower tier luxury watches.
So let's use an example.
Phenomenal.
He's making $175,000 a year. He started his first job. He's getting paid well, but he just has no. He just has nothing. What would you suggest to that guy in finance specifically?
I might have a little bit of bias on this because I managed a few of these boutiques, but there's a brand out there. It's called Tudor Watch. It was founded by the same gentleman who founded Rolex, so it's under the same umbrella. They are phenomenal watches for the fraction of the price of what a Rolex would cost. Average price point is probably around $4,000. But if you want something reliable that has a good name and good history behind it, I would definitely say a Tudor watch.
Love a Tudor. So tell me a little bit about the Tudor brand. You said it's under the umbrella of Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
What is that a Tudor that you wear?
No.
Okay.
This is actually a German brand. It's called Lange.
It's beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's solid white gold, an alligator strap. This is a very special watch to me. This was actually one of my Grail watches that I was lucky enough to be able to obtain and add to my own collection.
Wow.
This is I buy and sell watches, but this is one of the watches that I'll never get rid of.
Yeah. So Tudor was a great place to start. Would you suggest them to go with a stainless steel band, a leather band? First watch, only one watch in this whole thing. He has to wear it for more ultimate utility. What does he do?
Yeah. I would say, and I'm sure this is similar for you, right? We have to find more about their lifestyle, find out more, is this an everyday watch? Are you a construction worker? Are you going to be wearing it to work?
Uh-huh. So let's just use a Charlotte finance guy. He's going to wear it networking, going to bars, and just everyday life. What would you suggest? Yeah.
For your first watch, I would suggest, and are we talking specifically from the Tudor brand?
Yeah, Tudor brand. Yeah.
The Tudor brand, I would say a stainless steel Black Bay, 41 millimeters. Black dial, black bezel. It's a classic diver look. You can get it with a more flashy band called the 5-link band, which is similar to Rolex's Jubilee band, or you can get the 3-link band, which is similar to the Oyster. But in a sense, it's a fraction of the price of what a non-date Submariner would be, and they look and do almost the exact same thing.
I love that. So good. So about $4,000.
Yep.
Go black. Stainless steel, and there's some other options that are adjustable from the band perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love that. And that's the thing, man. When you get into the professional world, especially if you're a young man who get out of college or you've worked hard and you just aren't used to being in these circles, you want to present yourself the first impression. There's nothing, you can't get a second chance at a first impression, right? And so you want to make sure those things are really important. So for me, yeah, if you're a professional and you are in the finance specifically, let's say because we're in the heart of the finance capital, yeah, I would say start off with a dark navy suit or a charcoal suit. I'd say probably do a dark navy to start off. Get yourself a couple crisp white dress shirts.
Yeah.
What I would suggest.
Question though, but why do you keep suggesting blue? I actually think I know what you're going to say, but why do you say a navy blue? A
dark navy blue, it has the most versatility, the most colors that you can go with. It has so much flexibility,
okay.
And it can be worn in so many different scenarios.
Okay.
And it's a great foundational piece that gives all types of color spectrums that you can have the flexibility.
Got it. Okay. Like I thought you were going more towards, like the psychological aspects behind it.
Because it's calming.
It's calming, and I've also heard that like that navy blue. If you're sitting in front of like a CEO or executive, it kind of gives off more of like a trust vibe.
Yes. Blue is known psychologically as a color, even lowering blood pressure.
Yeah.
They've done studies on that with blood pressure and things of that nature. So blue's a navy blue. I would 10 times over 10, I would say navy blue, a dark navy blue suit. When I keep saying dark, guys, because there's different spectrums. There's blue navy, there's electric blue, there's all these different spectrums of blue that you would have. Mm-hmm. So that dark navy is a great foundational wardrobe piece. And if you're in more of a tech role where you're not necessarily customer facing as much, but you will be networking, you may have to do some on-site type things. Just because if you're going to meet with your directors and IT managers, just have that navy blazer or sport coat. Sport coat is going to have some patterns, but start with the navy blazer. Bring that with you. So you can use that as a foundational wardrobe. And even though I love the vest, this is a beautiful vest here from one of the greatest Barber, which is a British company. You need to have the tech vest and elevate that as well. But you also want to have a nice navy blazer if you are in the tech world. Now, if you're a real estate agent, there's a lot of flexibility in that, but I do think for a realtor perspective, definitely want to have like a navy blazer and some khakis or chinos, depending on where you are in this country, what you call them. Chinos are a little bit different than khakis in some ways. But yeah, so it just depends on what you're doing. But if you're in the finance capital where we are, and if you're a person who's trying to build that wardrobe, dark navy suit, dark navy blazer, if you're not in a formal position, and then also if you are trying to do like in tech world, I think that navy blazer really is a good foundational piece.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. So to leave us off, let's talk about some things that they need to do to take care of the watch. We know we have our watches, like we got a brand new watch, we're looking sharp. We just throw it in a drawer, or what do we do?
No, that's like a sin. If you buy a nice watch, please don't just throw it in a drawer. I have a couple of clients, just very, very wealthy. They have tons of watches, but they're super collectible ones. They put in a safety deposit box, or they store it away and they're never going to touch it again. I always say, please, if you buy a watch, especially one of that value, wear it. You don't have to wait for that special occasion. Time is all we got, so enjoy it, because you never know if tomorrow will be the day and you won't be able to wear it anymore.
Yeah. So what sort of, so just, okay. So what type of thing do they need to protect the watch? Because I got the watch, but what do I do? So where do I put it?
Yeah. Okay, well, that's actually a great question.
Mm-hmm.
So I am the founder of Hot Horology, where I buy, sell, and trade fine watches, jewelry, and gold. And I also represent a few different brands. And I recently just partnered with a company out of the Netherlands, all handmade goods. It's called Old Fashioned Luxury. And you can buy, there's travel watch rolls, travel cases, there's travel stands. Again, all handmade, hand stitched, premium leathers. Actually, I'm going to add the link below. So if you see something you like, feel free to hit the link. There's a lot of really nice stuff. But it's especially if it's a luxury watch. There's a car analogy that I like to use. If you buy a Porsche, you're not going to keep it outside. You're going to put it in the garage.
Okay.
Similar to a Rolex, right? It's similar to putting your Rolex into a nice watch box or into a winder, and store it properly.
I love that. And I agree. For me, with White and Simmons Advisory Group, LLC, we suggest with your suits, please, gentlemen, have a garment bag. You never know. A random moth might fly out of nowhere and eat up your stuff, and you spent $1,500 for a suit, or $2,000 for a nice custom-made suit that fits you appropriately and perfectly, and now you have moth eating it up. You want to put it in a nice garment bag because, number one, that protects it from things like moths, but number two, also smells and things of that nature. Also dust. You don't want dust. You thought you're ready to leave the house. You're in a hurry. You got to go somewhere, and then you get to the network, and it looked like you were rolling around on concrete somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't want that. So you want to have a nice garment bag. You want to have it in a place, protect it from dust, protect it from animals. You want to truly protect your investment, because your wardrobe, just like your watch, is a long-term investment.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we're all about. So folks, this is our first episode. We wanted to talk about the essentials, kind of get to know us again. I am the owner and founder of White and Simmons Advisory Group, LLC, and he's the owner and founder of
Hot Horology.
Love it. So we appreciate you guys coming on with us with this